In a dark corner of the shelter, there was a cage that everyone avoided. Inside it sat Blaze, a German shepherd with a fierce gaze and a growl that made even the bravest workers step back. His reputation spread through the shelter, aggressive, unpredictable, dangerous. No handler could approach without being attacked. He was no longer just a rescue dog. He was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. "Danger! Do not approach!" It was written in bold letters on the sign in front of his cage. Blaze wasn't just a problem for the staff. He was an uncontrollable monster, a symbol of despair and rage. For weeks, no one dared to glance at his cage. Blaze sat isolated, trapped in his own fury, snarling at the world, lost and unrecognizable. Pain and violence had shaped him into what he had become. But fate, as always, had other plans. One ordinary day, a little girl named Emma walked into the shelter. Only 7 years old, but her eyes were filled with curiosity and hope. Her father tried to stop her. "Don't go near that one, sweetheart. He's not safe. He's not for you." But Emma, with a courage no one expected, stopped right in front of Blaze's cage. She stared directly into his fierce eyes. Her father tried to pull her away, but she didn't budge. She looked at Blaze as if she saw something deep in those eyes. And then it happened. Instead of growling, Blaze just stared at her, frozen, as if calculating his next move. The tension in the air was so thick it could be cut with a knife. Emma slowly crouched down, extending her hand, without fear. The scene was complete silence. The only sound was Blaze's heavy breathing. Everyone in the shelter held their breath. What would Blaze do? He could attack at any moment. He was just waiting for the smallest opening to strike, and then, like a bolt of lightning, Blaze lunged. His teeth gleamed in the light, and he growled with a ferocity never seen before. The roar reverberated through the shelter's walls, and the air grew heavy, impossible to breathe. Emma didn't move. Her hand still extended, she stared directly into Blaze's eyes, showing no sign of fear. The shelter staff was in shock. "She's going to be attacked. He's going to tear her apart," they thought. Emma's father, terrified, was about to pull her away, but Emma, eyes locked with Blaze, refused to budge. The tension escalated. Every second felt like an eternity. Blaze was so close that everyone could hear his labored breathing. He was about to strike, but something unexpected happened. Suddenly, Blaze stopped. He looked at Emma deeply. Something in her gaze, something in her calmness, made the beast hesitate. He stood still, teeth bared, but he didn't move forward. It was in that moment that the entire room let out a collective breath, but the fear still lingered on their faces. What would happen now? What would Blaze do? He was about to decide everyone's fate. In the following days, Emma continued her daily visits. Every day, she sat by Blaze's cage, talking to him about her day, reading to him, singing soft songs. And Blaze started to change. The fury in his eyes began to fade. He was still hurt, but the tension seemed to lessen with each passing day. One afternoon, something even more unbelievable happened. Emma dropped a toy that rolled towards Blaze's cage. The entire room went still, waiting for Blaze to attack like he always did. But instead, Blaze slowly approached. He sniffed the toy, looked at Emma, and touched the toy with his paw. That simple gesture from Blaze froze everyone in the shelter. They couldn't believe it. The aggressive dog that had been a nightmare for all of them was touching a toy with his paw. However, the most critical moment was still to come. Without hesitation, Emma took a piece of her sandwich and offered it to Blaze through the bars. The atmosphere was tense. What would happen now? Would he finally trust her? Or was this just one last attempt to attack? Blaze looked at the food. He looked at Emma. The moment was at its peak. The tension was unbearable. And then, with a long hesitation, Blaze stepped forward, his eyes fixed on the food and on Emma. And to everyone's surprise, he took the piece from her hand. The transformation had begun, but this was not the end. There was much more to come. What would happen next? Had Blaze, the monster, finally found someone he could trust? Or would the scars of his past still hold him back? And most importantly, could Emma, with her courage and heart, make Blaze trust her completely? Or was this just the beginning of a journey full of challenges?